teacher talk session tonight, and tonight we are going to have, as usual, with another educator from different part of the world. And tonight our guest is an English teacher at the Federal Institute of Alagoas, Tiago Vaz Macena. When he comes, we are going to start our live sessions, but before that, I would like to say thank you very much for Ali.com for this nice t-shirt. They sent this t-shirt to me. It's really nice. I love it, and thank you very much, Ali, for this nice t-shirts. Okay, thank you. And now here is Tiago, so I can accept him. Waiting for him to join. Waiting for him to join. Last week we couldn't do it, as you know that it was a holiday break, so that's why we didn't have a teacher talk sessions. But tonight we have it again with a different educator, with Tiago. Not yet, Tiago. We're still waiting for you to join. Just a moment. Okay, now I have invited you. Accept it, please.
Hello, Volkan.
Can you hear me?
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, I can. It's okay. It's nice to
My
see
audio
you. Hello, Tiago.
switched.
Can you see me?
Yes, but my audio switched from the headphone to the smartphone. I don't know why.
It's okay. It's not a problem. It's great to see you. It's nice to see you, Tiago. All right. So we can have it like this if it's not a problem for you.
Yeah, it's okay. I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. You can see me, and I can see you too also. It's wonderful. Okay. So I would like to say, Tiago, thank you very much, Tiago, for accepting my invitation and becoming my guest tonight for Teacher Talks 155th session. It's really nice to have you tonight here. But actually, I think in Brazil it's afternoon, but it's great to see you.
Yes. Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be here with you, my friend.
It's wonderful, Tiago. Thank you. All right, so if you're ready, we can start.
Sure.
All right. So I know about you, Tiago, but maybe our audiences would like to know about you. So can you tell us about yourself, please, and a bit about your experiences too?
Sure. My name is Tiago. I'm a Brazilian English teacher. I've started teaching English in 2000, so I'm in the field for about 24 years. Between English classes, I also worked with school management for 8 years, but it's not in the English teaching area, but I was the principal of two different schools in that period. So I've already worked in private English courses and also in public schools. In public schools, I worked since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also I have a master's degree in applied linguistics and a
Great.
specialization in school management. And I'm graduated in languages, Portuguese and English.
Oh, it's wonderful. Wonderful, Tiago. Thank you very much. And okay, and so let me ask you my next question is, what was or were your turning point or points in your own education, Tiago?
All right. For me, it was when I started my master's degree. I was working for an English school, a private language school, for about 10 years. And then I started to study in the master's degree. When I entered the university, I realized that I had to work in something different. And I wanted to change my career. So I
Uh-huh.
started pursuing these public school jobs. And I found this one, which was to work as a school principal. And I applied for the job and I managed to get the job, even though I had never even worked as a public school teacher. So it was a big challenge for me.
Oh, oh, I
But it
see.
all worked out. And I remember it clearly that it was right there when I started loving the public school and working for the people who need the most.
Oh, I see. It's great. And also, it's really nice experience and turning points for you, Tiago. Thank you very much for sharing them with us. All right. So, Tiago, you have been teaching for a long time, and probably in this time you have tried different techniques, different methodologies, and different strategies in your lessons, and probably you have a philosophy of teaching. So, what is it? What is your philosophy of teaching?
Well, if I had to summarize it in one sentence, it would be adapt and overcome.
Oh,
Sometimes
okay.
in class we see so many things and we are planned to do something and something
Uh-huh.
else happens. So we just have to adapt and overcome. Or sometimes you plan to use the projector or the internet and the school internet doesn't work or the air conditioning is broken and you have to go somewhere else. Or so you just have to focus in your students' learning. So when you adapt and overcome these challenges that we face
Uh-huh.
sometimes in the language classes, we um, we deliver a better work for our students.
Oh,
And I teach them the same. I tell them you should also adapt and overcome because some of you don't have a good internet connection at home, or don't have good smartphones, or don't have a proper place to study in the house. We don't know, but they have to adapt and overcome also their difficulties in order to learn better English and have better careers in the future.
I see. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Tiago, for sharing your philosophy with us. Thank you. Okay, and next question is, you know that we are teachers and we are educators and we have in our career, we have lots of stories, some success stories and some failed stories and some maybe challenging ones we have it. So can you tell us one or two success stories of yours and something inspirational for us?
All right. Well, I'm going to rewind to the period that I applied to be a school principal, a public school
Uh-huh.
principal. That's a very nice story because
Sure.
to be a public school principal in the state I worked, that was Ceará, you have to do a public contest. So you have to do a
Uh-huh.
test, and there is also interviews and other steps to be selected for that
Uh-huh.
position. And when I
Wow.
was selected, I didn't even know what how the work was exactly because I've never worked in a public school. And then I had to implement a technical public high school. So
Oh,
I had to learn not only about the core subjects like Portuguese and math and history, philosophy and sociology, etc., but also about the technical courses, and there were technical four technical courses to implement, and there were I'll try to translate them here for you, right? It's something
sure.
related to electricity, something related to civil engineering, and there
Uh-huh.
was also nursing and hospitality. So these four courses, basically translating. And the students, it was a full-time school, so they had 3 meals in the school. They arrived in school 7 a.m. and stayed until 5 p.m. So it was a huge challenge for me to learn all this structure and everything, and manage a team for about 60,
Uh-huh.
70 people. So this was an excellent story, I have to tell, because I took the challenge, and of course the team worked with me and made things work out. I had experienced coordinators by my side also, who helped me manage the most difficult situations, and we
Uh-huh.
could bring a type of school that didn't exist in that time for a small city in the countryside of Ceará.
Oh, oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It's really nice, and thank you for sharing this story with us, Tiago. It's really nice and inspirational one for us. Okay, so Tiago, you know, you are an English teacher, and and I am also an English teacher. So maybe I just want to ask you these questions. Maybe you had a different jobs in your mind. Maybe you would like to do different jobs. But my question is, why did you decide to become an English teacher? Or have you ever thought to do another job?
All right, great question. I started studying English when I was 8 years old.
Oh,
So my
nice.
yeah, my father's boss in that time, that was back in 1990, he paid an English course for my sister and I.
Oh,
So my father's boss paid for our English course, and then we started studying English. We were little. I was 8 years old, and my sister was 9. And
I
then
see.
we had so many good grades, and we performed so well in the English course. And he was so happy with that he paid us a trip to the United States. So we went to Disney with an
Oh,
excursion, and we went without our parents. We went with an excursion, and we spent 15 days there in Disney, and we met all these amusement parks and all this structure.
wow.
This was in 1990, but we didn't speak English at all. I was 9 years old, and my sister was
Nice.
10. But that image, that experience was really stuck in my head, in my mind, and I was curious to learn more about English and study more and study harder and harder. And when I finished high school and I had to choose a job and a college to attend, I had no doubts I had to study languages, because it was something that I really liked more than any other school subject. And when
Wow.
I was studying languages, I met some incredible teachers who encouraged me to start teaching. And of course, I started teaching because I wanted the money, right?
Yeah, sure.
We we were young and we needed our own money for the first time. And then I started teaching English and I started enjoying, and then this became my profession. That was
I
it.
see. It's a wonderful story to become an English teacher, Tiago. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing them with us. It's really a nice story. Okay, so Tiago, we talk about that. Everybody has different jobs, and everybody wants to go to their work every week or every day. But sometimes, they just don't want to go to work because they do not have the motivation to go that work. But we are teachers. Teachers, we have to go to that work. We need to find that motivation to go every day, okay? Because we are teachers. So, what is your biggest motivation to go to work every day?
All right. It's an excellent question, and I see in you also, Volkan, a lot of motivation, as well as in me. So we must have the motivation within
Uh-huh.
ourselves. Otherwise, we will not do what needs to be done. I think this way.
Exactly.
Nowadays, I work in a city that's more or less 380 kilometers away from my home. So
Wow.
I drive 12 hours per week to go to work and come back home. I
Wow.
drive every Tuesday, yeah, and then I give classes Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I come back on Friday evening after my last class, and I arrive at Friday night or
Ooh.
at home,
Uh-huh.
and then I rest and stay with my family, and then on Tuesday I go back again. So my motivation is my students. I think about them all the time when I'm planning the class, when I'm
Yeah.
driving, when I go there. In fact, I tell them that the only hardship I have is the road that I have to drive, and it's a long journey. But when I arrive there, my students are so lovely. They listen to everything I have to say. They follow the instructions. They do the activities. So they're just perfect. And I have nothing to complain about them, just to thank them for being
Yeah.
who they are. And I
Wonderful.
work in a small city. Yeah. I work in a small city in the countryside of one of the smallest states in Brazil, which is called Alagoas.
Alagoas.
And
Uh-huh.
I work for the Federal Institute, that is
Uh-huh.
a group of federal schools that are technical high schools and also colleges. But in my case, I work for a technical high school,
Uh-huh.
and I teach students from junior and senior high school. And they study the courses of administration and agriculture.
I see. Okay. It's great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tiago, and for your, the giving the reason about it. Thank you. Okay. So would you like to add anything else about your motivation, or can I move another question?
Well, as I told you, motivation is within ourselves. When we do what we love, I think if I have to add something and tell maybe young teachers who are watching or people from other jobs, you have just to search to work with what you love, and then the
Uh-huh.
motivation will come naturally, and you will become a successful professional, just like
I
you,
see.
Volkan.
Thank you very much. We are teachers and we need a really good motivation to go to work every day. I think as you mentioned that the biggest motivation is probably our students. Our
Exactly.
students. Okay, thank you, Tiago. Let me ask you another question. So, I'm sure that you have done a lot of training sessions or maybe presentations as a teacher or maybe educator. And when you think about them, what was or were the most interesting situation or situations that you faced?
I don't have this much teacher training experience,
Uh-huh.
but when I was working as a school principal, we had some regular meetings with a psychologist. And this
Uh-huh.
is an experience I will never forget.
Sure.
They took all the school principals to this hotel, and we stayed like,
Uh-huh.
Okan, can you see me? Oh, your
Yeah, yeah,
image
yeah.
is off to me.
No, no, no.
Okay, so I'll
I'm
just
here.
keep saying. Okay. And we stayed in this hotel, and we had it's a type of formation with the psychologist, and he was
Uh-huh.
teaching us this sort of social emotional skills for us to use with our team in our work and for our lives.
I
So this
see.
is something I remember, and it really helped me in that time, because working with people is not easy. You have to deal with the hardships, and you have to deal with conflict, and sometimes you don't agree, and we have to come to a common ground with people who think differently than you, and all these
Exactly.
together
Uh-huh.
might be improved, or at least minimized,
Uh-huh.
if you have social emotional skills.
Definitely. Definitely. I agree with you. And it's really great moment for you probably you to do that there. Okay. Thank you very much, Tiago. And what I want to ask you, Tiago, probably your colleagues sometimes come to you and ask your help, and when they need you, how do you help other teachers as a colleague? What do the other teachers expect to get from you, and how do they reach you when you need your help?
All right. In the campus I work, I'm the only English teacher. So I
Oh,
give English classes to all the groups and all the students.
uh-huh,
But I try to keep in touch with the teachers from other subjects. For example, I approach the administration teachers and say, what are you teaching at this moment? What can I use in English in relation to administration? And and we arrange to teach a certain subject in the same time. So he's teaching about marketing, and I bring something related to marketing in the English class, or some other administration topics that I try to apply in the English class, or I bring something that was in the news that's related to human resources, or something that they asked me to
To do
teach in the English
it.
class.
Uh-huh.
And I like to do this very much, as well as with the teachers from agriculture.
Yeah.
Last year, I gave also a lesson about robots who works farming and killing
Great.
weeds and preparing the soil for plantation. So there was this very nice story for me to share with them, and also something related to drones and other technological aspects that they need English to understand, but it's an agricultural topic.
Topic.
So I try
Mm-hmm.
to work with them, to help them, and to ask for help in this sense.
Great. Very interesting, really. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tiago. My next question is about technology. About technology. You know that it's not easy to catch up the latest developments and trends. The technology is, improving so fast, and sometimes we cannot catch it. But how do you do this? How do you stay updated with the latest developments and the trends in education or in language education?
This is really hard, Volkan. This is so
Uh-huh.
hard, especially nowadays. My
Yeah.
master's degree is in the area of technology and multiliteracies, digital technologies and multiliteracies.
Uh-huh.
But just for me to exemplify what I was just saying, I finished my master's in 2013. That was 11 years ago, okay?
Wow.
So yeah, my dissertation was about a school digital newspaper. Can you believe it? This sounds so old nowadays.
Yeah.
Everybody can do a digital newspaper. In that time, we were switching from the paper newspaper to the digital newspaper. So the websites is starting to release their news online, and
Uh-huh.
people were starting learning about that new technology. And then I planned to do a school newspaper, digital newspaper. That was the
Oh, I
thesis.
see.
And by creating this, my plan was to teach critical literacy to the students and also digital
Oh,
literacy.
interesting.
And then,
Uh-huh.
but nowadays there's so much about AI, and I'm still learning, and
Yeah.
there's so much to
Don't worry,
learn.
so do I.
I've been, I've been working with an American, not working, but acting as a partner with an American teacher, and
Great.
she not only me but a group of Brazilian teachers to create a course for African, Afro-Brazilian and indigenous people. And then she
Great.
taught us a lot about AI and how AI can help us teachers save time and produce quality content. So I'm
Great.
testing, I'm
Uh-huh.
learning, but there's still too much, a lot, so much to learn from me.
I see. It's really interesting.
Yeah,
I'm sure that it's very useful. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tiago, for sharing this, suggestions and your experience with us. Okay.
of
And
course.
I want to ask you another question, Tiago, which is like, I know that we were together, we have attended together the TESOL exchange program, you know, and the couple of weeks ago. And when you think about this exchange program, what was the best takeaway from there for you?
All right. The most important part of the exchange program was when we visited schools and learned about the importance of trauma informed teaching and social emotional learning
Uh-huh.
in the classes, not only in the English class, but in the school as a whole. And not only in relation to the students, but to the school staff and to the school system. So this view really changed my mind in relation to my perception
Uh-huh.
about social and emotional learning in education. This really impacted me, and it's something I want to bring here to Brazil and multiply, and also study further with all the resources that we have. I'm not, I don't know about you, but I'm still reading and consuming all the materials we received and all the people we made contact with. So there is still a
Exactly.
lot to learn,
Hmm,
but that's
definitely.
something that really
Yeah,
that
yeah.
really impressed me.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. And I also read and check and the watch the things that we did it there is really impressive as you mentioned. And another question about TESOL, this program, how did this exchange affect your educational progress? And what do you advise to the people if they want to take part in this exchange program?
All right. It impacted me so much. It maybe lit up the fire of learning again. So I'm
Uh-huh.
really it's triggered me to want to learn more, to study harder, to search about all these social and emotional skills, and also for the teachers who intend to join a kind of program like this, I totally advise. It's a life-changing program that
Exactly. Uh-huh.
I know it's expensive, and we were awarded with this opportunity, so we're blessed to be able to take part in this. But every
Definitely.
teacher who
Uh-huh.
can join an experience like this, I totally advise, because it's a life-changing experience for every language teacher.
Definitely. I totally agree with you. I can't agree more, Tiago. Yeah, I hope that every English teacher have a chance to, has a chance to attend this program. Okay. I wish they have a chance to do that. Okay. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tiago. And let me ask you different questions about the new teachers. You're as an experienced teacher, what advice, Tiago, would you give to new or aspiring English language teachers who are just starting their teaching career?
All right. First of all, try to understand your students' expectations and needs. When we understand what the student is expecting from the English classes and what they really need in that moment, and you can adapt your classes to
Uh-huh.
that, you will be more successful. Sometimes the young teacher focuses too much in the curriculum, and and of course it's understandable. It's the beginning, and you. I also had this like this is a stressful situation. I have to teach the alphabet, the numbers, the verb be, the directions, how to use a map, and the simple present and the simple past, and this and that. But this is okay, this is the curriculum. But what do the students really need? And what do they expect to learn
To
from
learn.
that English class? And then you can mix up both interests, that is the school system interest and the students' interest, to blend and make something that they will enjoy. They will come to your classes, they will be happier, they will learn more, and you will have a more pleasant work, and you will also have a better performance from your students.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tiago, for your suggestions for new teachers. Okay, Tiago, the time flies and years, years pass so fast. So when you think about your future, how do you see yourself in 10 years? Will you still be a teacher or will you try another job or jobs?
I would love to still be an English teacher. I want to be
Uh-huh.
in class because the energy that students bring to me is so strong, and I feel so alive when I'm near them and exchanging this energy and this teaching and learning experience with them. So I don't want to change this. But I also want
Great.
to include, yeah, but I also want to include teacher training sessions in my curriculum. I would love to be part of something that's related to teacher training, and maybe in 10 years I would be training teachers and
Trainer.
also being in class, but also sharing my time with teacher training. I would love to do that.
Wonderful. I hope you do that, Tiago. I hope you do that. Okay, thank you very much, Tiago. And in our life, there are some, we face some difficult times, right? Or challenging times. And when we face that times, we probably say, "Oh, I wish I could a superpower so I could solve this problem easily, or I wish I could have this superpower and I could solve it easily." But when you think about in your classroom, okay, if you could have one superpower to use it, what would it be and how would it help you in the classroom?
All right. I thought about being caring and nurturing, a caring and
Ah,
nurturing person. I think I already have this superpower, but I would like to develop more. I'll give
yeah.
you one example. Sometimes a student is sleeping in your class, and we get so angry because we feel disrespected because that student is sleeping, and you say, "You're
Uh-huh.
sleeping in my class, wake up." But sometimes you don't know about what happened to this student's life.
Yeah,
Maybe he spent the
exactly.
whole night working in a restaurant as a bartender or as a waiter, or he had to take care of, or maybe it's a girl and she has a baby and she
Uh-huh.
spent all night because the baby was waking up and she couldn't sleep well. Or there are so many possibilities, and it's not in your class. Maybe this person is sleeping during all day, and you have to contact the school counseling to ask for help and try to be nurturing, like to understand what that student is going through, and then help to prevent this from happening again, and not punishing the person because he or she is sleeping, but just to be aware of their situation and be a caring and nurturing person. And I use the sleeping example, but could be any other example. Sometimes a student who has difficulty for learning, and maybe he just needs glasses. We don't know. It just needs,
Yeah.
or it's a person who learns in a different way and you don't know about it. There was no diagnostics. And if we have this superpower of being a caring and nurturing person, we would help our students so much more.
I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tiago, for the superpower that you share with us. All right. So, Tiago, think that we, to finish our interview and you step outside your home and find a lottery ticket that ends up winning $10 million, what would you do? But please be honest.
Okay. I would invest the money,
Ah,
Volkan.
nice.
I would invest I would invest the money to have a monthly dividend. So I would
Uh-huh.
buy something that would give me a monthly allowance, a monthly return. And with this
Nice.
money, I could do whatever I want. I could
Uh-huh.
maybe go, but I would continue working. I would, of course, I would continue working, going to school, and staying in class. Because
Uh-huh.
I guess, this is what makes me feel alive. And for people who love what they do, I think they would answer the same. I would continue working because this is what makes me feel alive. This is what makes me feel useful for the society, right? And
Yeah.
this money being multiplied in an investment could even help the school, like making some donations, or for some institutes, or for some people who need maybe a shelter, or another public school, or a daycare center for babies, for small children. Who knows? We can do a lot of things, right?
Uh-huh. Very nice. And there is another comment. from Ali Hocam, I think. I will take the money and disappear completely. It's nice. Yeah, nice one. Probably. Why not? You can do that also. It's a huge money, $10 million. Really great. Yeah, a
It
lot
is
of
to buy a
amount.
helicopter to go to class. I love that scheme.
Yeah, the helicopter is also nice to get to class, but and Aydan Hocam says, Volkan Hocam, you need to increase the lottery amount, $10 million. Why? Make it $100 million. Don't limit your dreams. Ah, you are right. Okay, after this time, I will ask the question. I'll change Aydan Hocam and I'll make it 10 million from $100 million. I will ask that question like that. Okay, what would you do if you have
All right.
$100 million? What would you do? Okay, thank you.
That's a good one.
Okay, Tiago. Yes, thank you very much for your ideas. And you know, the time flies, Tiago. Now I'm gonna ask you my last question. Are you ready for it?
All right. Yes, my friend.
Yeah,
Let's do
great.
this.
Here is the question. What is your motto?
My motto is how you do anything is how you do everything. What does it mean
Oh,
exactly?
uh-huh,
When you want to do your best in whatever you are doing in life, the all other aspects of your life improve. So I try to be the best teacher that I can. And then
uh-huh.
I'm starting to focus better on my driving, for example, and I start eating better. And I started running because I wanted to take care of my health. And I did proper physical activity. So I started eating better foods. And then I started thinking more clearly. And then I started studying harder. And then I started to become a better teacher. And it's a full circle. When you
Exactly.
understand this, if I can summarize it in one sentence, it's just like pick one aspect of your life and do your best in one simple aspect and see what happens. All of the
You are
other
right.
aspects of your life will improve your financial life, your love life, your physical activity life, your professional life. So that's it. How you do anything is how you do everything.
I see. Okay, great. Thank you very much for your motto. Can you repeat it again, please?
I'm sorry.
Can you repeat that your motto again?
Okay. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Exactly. Great. Okay. And the one I don't know, just say it again. Look, you have lost me when you have said exercise and healthy food. Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice. All right then. Thank you, Tiago. That's all my questions. And thank you very much being with us. And before ending our live sessions, would you like to add anything else?
No, just to thank you and congratulate you for your work. You've been doing this for a long time, interviewing super talented teachers. I'm honored to be here right next to you in this live
Yeah, the
session.
honor is
I'm going to
mine.
share also with my students and with my teacher colleagues. So thank you for this opportunity. And may all of your listeners have a blessed evening in
Thank,
Turkey or an
thank
afternoon
you.
here in Brazil.
Oh, great. But Turkey, it's not Turkey. Turkey, it's Turkey, okay?
Turkey.
Okay, now
Yeah,
it's great.
exactly.
Turkey, wonderful. All right.
Turkey.
So thank you very
Perfect.
much, Tiago. I would like to say one more time, thank you very much for being with us here, and thank you very much for your suggestions, for your advice to us and to our audience, and especially thank you very much for your time that you spent here. That was really precious for us. Okay, Tiago, thank you. And Tiago was McKenna was with us tonight, and we had a fruitful session with him. And we are going to be here next week with a different educator, with a different part of the world, as you know, every Monday at 9 p.m. As you know, that's Turkey's time. So until that time, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good night. But there is a question, Tiago. May I also invite him to give a talk for Inget? Why not? Would you like to join Inget's series, Tiago?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so I'll give your contact to Aydan Hocam, so they will reach you. Is that okay?
Perfect. It will be a
Okay.
pleasure. Thank you so much for the
Wonderful.
opportunity.
Okay, after the sessions, I'll give your contact to them. Wonderful. It's a great, great. Thank you, Tiago. And anyway, wherever you are, what I was saying that wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. And until the next time, please take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, Tiago. Bye bye, everybody, and peace.
Thank you.